Bonjour and welcome. My name is Poppy Pierce and I am the Digital Content Assistant here at France Media Group. And today we have a very special episode of Bonjour Paris for you. I will be joined by Sofia Poni, the Croissant Queen, who has rated over 150 bakeries across Paris. This is the shorter version of the event made for YouTube. The full extended presentation, including extra stories from Sofia, more question and answer, and a quiz, are available exclusively to our Bonjour Paris members. Membership gives you complete access to our video archive, future live sessions, and the ability to ask questions in real time. For more information on membership, visit the link in the description. And while you're here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss an episode. Let's begin.
Bienvenue to Bonjour Paris Live. Our online event series, free for Bonjour Paris members, offers expert lectures, discovery talks, and conversations about la vie française. In between your trips to France, we're here to inspire you. Bonjour Paris has been online since 1995, almost as old as the internet itself. Our website is packed with interesting articles about the culture and history of Paris. And now, thanks to the support of our growing membership base, we're able to showcase new offerings like video and online talks. For details about all the benefits of Bonjour Paris membership, visit our membership page on our website. Enjoy today's presentation and à bientôt!
Hello everyone. Bonjour, bienvenue, and welcome to Bonjour Paris Live. I'm Poppy Pierce, Digital Content Assistant for France Media, and I am incredibly excited to be your host today, as Sofia Poni joins us in search of the best croissants in Paris. So, let's get to it. I'll now invite Sofia to start her video. Hello, Sofia. It's so lovely to see you and to have you with us today. It's such a treat to learn more about croissants and the best spots to find them. So allow me to introduce you to our audience. Sofia, the content creator behind the popular Où sont les croissants guide, moved to Paris 2 years ago and has since visited, rated, and documented more than 150 bakeries, cafes, and brunch spots across Paris on a Croissant Map and Spreadsheet. In the beginning, it was just a personal project, but it turns out people love croissants. And perhaps a little more surprisingly, people also love data. Sofia, also known as the Croissant Queen, now has a wonderful online community of 12,500 followers and counting, with whom she shares all of this delicious knowledge with, including her favourite spots, and she even helps you plan your own trip to Paris. So that's enough from me, and now I will pass you over to Sofia.
Thank you so much, Poppy, for the kind introduction. And hello, everyone. Bonjour. I'm actually in Paris at the moment. So, oui, bienvenue. I'm going to start sharing a bit of a presentation. So, hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me and see me well. And of course, throughout this discussion, please feel free to use the Q&A to just drop in any questions. But I will get started. So, hopefully, I'm going to start with this. You are here because you're interested in food, you're interested in Paris, you're interested in being organized. I'm hoping that matches the reasons why you're here. If not, honestly, stick around. You might learn something new. So let's get into it. I don't want to repeat any of what Poppy has already said in her very kind introduction. But basically, overall, my mission is to save you from bad snacks. I just don't know what compares to the feeling of having a disappointing croissant in Paris. And also bad Paris experiences in general. I'll never forget that time I saw my first round. It was literally like day 2 of living here. So, well, but not repeating any of what Poppy said, I just want to spend a moment to share with you, honestly, how on earth I've ended up spending so much time on croissants, on content creation, on just, how did I get here? So 2 years ago, I moved to Paris, you see, when my partner got a job. Thinking, I speak French, I'm an experienced economist and data analyst. This shouldn't be a problem. This will be fine. And as it turns out, it has been a problem. So alongside doing what seemed like endless job applications, I've had to find other ways of filling my time. And what I love to do is I love to eat, but I also wanted something that allows me to explore the city. And I also wanted something that allows me to explore the city cheaply because I'm not on a big income at the moment. And a croissant is €1.40 most of the time in Paris. So this is my cheap hobby that allowed me to, really get to know Paris as much as possible. So yeah, honestly, I was making content for the fun of it to begin with. It started blowing up at some point, and I kind of just followed the way that the universe pushed me. So here we are, a full-time job seeker in Paris to incidental business founder in Paris. I made my own job because they wouldn't give me one. So here we are. So just to run through what we're going to discuss today, basically we'll run through where you can find the actual best croissant that I have found in Paris. And honestly, trust me, I've tried a lot of bad ones to find you the best ones. And this is very much based on data. You'll get a glimpse, first ever glimpse of my spreadsheet where I keep all the valuable information about croissant. You'll get a little bit about how the map works, and honestly, just more general info of how you can live your best life in Paris when you visit. And then very much you can just ask me all your questions about Paris living. I love this bakery so much that I've developed a very special walk, a tourist walk that I take my friends and family on when they come to visit me. So I'm just quickly going to take you through this walk with me as we run through. So obviously, Med literally is on this side of Montmartre. When you're visiting Montmartre, you probably take the metro either to Blanche or Pigalle. I would say get off at Blanche. Just say hello to the Moulin Rouge, which is just there. I'm going to put the laser pointer on so you can see where I mean when I say just there. So yeah, get off at Blanche, say hello to the Moulin Rouge. Then start walking up the hill. Grab some coffee to take away at the Beans on Fire. I love the Beans on Fire. They have really great quality coffee and they have oat milk, so which is fantastic. Pop down and look at the Wall of Love, which is a stunning piece of art. You've probably heard of it from Emily in Paris. It's a very beautiful wall that has I love you written on it in over 200 languages, in over 200 different handwritings, as the artist has collected it from different people. So it's very beautiful. Then carry on walking up the stairs up to Place du Tertre. Place du Tertre is the bit of Montmartre where you will see all of the artists painting and possibly trying to sell you art that is a little bit overpriced, but truly a beautiful experience. Walk around to the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur. Everyone knows the Sacré-Cœur is very beautiful. It's the white church that sits right at the top of the hill in Paris. Really, really gorgeous. And you can look at the view from the really tall hill and the staircase that's right in front of you. But we are just getting started because this is the bit that everyone will do. The bit that not everyone will do is you'll take around the corner and go to this park, Parc Marcel Buisson-Blanchet. A mouthful, but you don't need to say it. You just need to go visit it. You'll get the best photos with the background of the church that you have ever seen. Everyone always asks me when I post these photos, where did you take them? And it is just the beautiful park, very quiet, never busy, honestly gorgeous. From there, you're going to come out the other exit of the park and walk straight down a quiet cobbled road. In 2 minutes, you're going to come across a hidden vineyard. This is the vineyard of Montmartre, the vineyard of a monastery that used to be in Montmartre. And it's actually where the wine festival of Montmartre takes place every year in October. I'm very much looking forward to that one this year. You'll turn left around the vineyard and find yourself at Maison Rose. Maison Rose is the beautiful pink house that is also a restaurant, also featured in Emily in Paris, if that's your thing. And walk down this road, which is Rue de l'Aubrevois, which is a stunning cobbled street, and it's medieval, and the buildings look all gothic-y and witchy, and it's perfect for kind of autumnal photos, and it's also never too quiet. Then you come here and you will see the bust of Dalida. Dalida is a famous French singer from the kind of 50s, 60s. And what you're supposed to do with the bust is touch the bust of the bust and it's meant to bring you good luck. So make sure you do that. Your good luck will honestly materialize immediately, because once you've done that, you're going to go down these stairs and you're going to turn around and you're going to go to Rue Colincourt and go to Boris Humet Boulangerie and have the best croissant of your life. And there you go. You've done a beautiful walk and you've been rewarded for it with one of the best croissants you'll ever eat. So voila, that is my walk. And please feel free to message Bonjour Paris or rewatch this back when you visit Paris next, because I really think this is very worthwhile. So moving on from my two favorite bakeries, I want to talk a little bit about, well, kind of everyone else's favorite bakeries. So the most viral bakeries. So some of these spots have the ridiculous queues. Some of these spots have videos of all of the influencers you will ever see going, I found the best bakery in Paris. Great, you've been in Paris for 2 days, but well done. And honestly, there is a big range in what you'll find. So everyone has seen, I'm guessing, the giant croissant. So people walking around, taking their giant croissant around with them, dipping it in their coffee. Very funny, very cute. Does it taste good? Yes. It feels weird to say, but yes. It's enormous. It's huge. It's beautiful. It tastes a little bit more brioche than like a classic croissant, but it's amazing. I will warn you, it costs 32 euros from Philippe Conticini. So don't just walk up to the counter thinking this is a regular croissant. So, but it's worth it. And actually, the giant croissant was my very first viral video, when essentially I made a video about Instagram versus reality, getting the giant croissant, getting really beautiful photos with the giant croissant, and then eating the same giant croissant for the rest of that week as breakfast. So it's a good one, but you should be warned about the price. That's it. Just be prepared. Okay, Mamie. Mamie is a lot of people's favorite. We were talking with a couple of other people at Bonjour Paris the other day, and Sylvia said it was her favorite. So, you know, there is a bit of a fan base for Manish internationally. Manish is good. I have nothing bad to say about Manish, except it's really overhyped. There is a queue always, and I don't queue for croissant. There is literally, as we discussed, nearly 2,000 bakeries in Paris. Why are we queuing for croissant? Anyway, so good. Overhyped.
Enjoying the talk so far? Give this video a like, as it really helps other people to discover it. And remember that Bonjour Paris members get exclusive access to the full version of every talk, including the opportunity to ask live questions on our webinars. For all membership information, visit the link in our description. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss another episode.
Here we go. Cédric Rollet is the one that everyone has heard of. It is the one, you know, that chef, and he's quite good looking himself, and he cuts the dough and he kneads it, and he has like all these aesthetic videos on Instagram. It looks great. It has outside over an hour queue at any point in the day. You will also pay through the nose for these pastries, for these viennoiseries. Are they good? No. For the queue and for the price, I would expect them to be life-changing, and they're absolutely, sadly, not. So I personally would say don't bother. If you want to spend 50 euros on breakfast, I would say go to the Ritz. I love the Ritz. Breakfast at the Ritz is an experience. Breakfast at Cédric Rollet will leave your back hurting from queuing too long. So that's my take. And the final one that is very viral, very popular, Maison d'Isabelle. It's on Rive Gauche. It's a stone's throw away from Notre Dame, and it's the best of the best. Yeah, there's a massive queue outside. They are prepared. They are handing these croissants out. They are going, go, 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 go. They are nonstop. Day till night. They close at 8 p.m. and they're still handing out croissants until 8 p.m. So absolutely wonderful. Really, really worth it. And even if you queue, it'll be less than 10 minutes. This is fine. This is absolutely fine to queue for.
Now, a few of these questions I think we'll get to at the end in the Ask Me Anything slots. But the one more in terms of what we're talking about now is a recommendation near Gare de Lyon.
Oh, a recommendation near Gare de Lyon. Let's have a look. Just in case, I don't know if you can actually visually see this, but in case anyone's wondering what I'm looking at, that's basically how the map looks. And you can just find Gare de Lyon and zoom in and see what you've got saved in there, or well, what I've got saved in there.
Amazing. And then the rest of the questions that I can see now, I think I'll ask Sofia at the end, these ones.
Okay, my recommendation near Gare de Lyon, I'll give you a croissant, but I'm also going to give you a brunch because actually one of my favorite brunches is really close to Gare de Lyon, and it's called Caf Caf, Kaf, Kaf. And it's a Mediterranean brunch, and it is so good. And they have all of these kind of interesting themed drinks. So very much a variety of new, different flavors. And sometimes I think that's what's difficult in Paris, finding somewhere that's willing to experiment. In France, they're very much fans of tradition and keeping things as they are, which is great when it comes to, baguette tradition or the traditional flavors of a croissant. But sometimes, you want something a bit interesting and innovative. So Caf Caf is really great. And then for bakery, there is a place called Ernest Saint-Valentin, which is kind of halfway between Gare de Lyon and Bastille. And it is good. It is good. Again, it's just a bakery. It's just a normal bakery. There's nowhere to sit. You just take your delicious croissant and go. Great. Is there any more, Poppy, for now? Or is there a shoe for we're leaving for later?
I think I might leave these ones for later in the Q&A session.
Good. Okay. In which case we can move on, and I will tell you a little bit about the Croissant Map. And we've had just a preview just there anyway, and the spreadsheet. So just about the Croissant Map, basically, I made this to begin with for my own purposes because if I want to be really clear, I have a terrible memory. So when I discovered that I can use notes, for example, in work meetings and just write everything down, or use my calendar to even just note down when I'm meeting my friends, or use maps to save my favorite restaurants and my favorite bakeries, my life became a whole lot easier. So given that my memory is terrible, I started doing this just for myself. And then basically just over a year ago, I shared it on Instagram as a joke, thinking, oh, people are going to think I'm so nerdy, haha. It turns out a lot of people can relate. So a lot of people were asking me where they can get it, where they can download it for themselves. And voila, the Croissant Map of Paris was born. So yeah, it's been a journey, but I currently have 2 maps, one of which is a croissant map and one of which is a brunch and cafes map. And I'm also set up to work on bespoke maps to match any special requirements, such as like dietary requirements, gluten-free, vegan, or to just match your itinerary. And honestly, truth be told, because I launched it as a fluke, because 20 people commented under a viral reel, oh my God, where can we get this map? So, well, this could be fine. And I'd never really expected it to be received so well, and I'm very proud of it. People have been loving it. It's been featured in some really cool Paris media. So I'm very pleased with the map. And Poppy, I don't know if you are happy to share the video a little bit of basically how it works. I took a little screen grab of the other day when I was out and about, just showing how it functions. If you guys use Google Maps, you'll know the blue dot is you, and you'll just open it wherever you might be and see what it is that I found that's near you, so that you don't have to be looking up, lists of best croissant or whatever. Wherever you are doing your Paris touring, wherever you are having your little museum visit or just walk, you can just see what is best near you. And that's the idea of the convenience of the map, basically. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if there's any questions about the map. I will feel free to send them in the chat if there are questions about the map itself. And I'm just going to carry on a little bit about what is wrong with my brain and why do I need to have a spreadsheet. So essentially, you might think I'm a little weird, but I think a lot of the people on the internet can apparently relate. So maybe you can too. Who on earth has a food spreadsheet? Honestly, it all comes back to my poor memory, but it also now has become like quite an integral part of my life. So when, for example, people are coming to visit me and I know, okay, this friend is coming to stay with me for 3 days, this friend is vegan, and I need to book a few restaurants to make sure that we can try this and that and the other. And also they would like to try croissant, but they're vegan. You can't try the all butter croissant. So then we can go to this bakery. Or my mom is coming to stay and I know she really likes, not croissant, but she really likes cinnamon rolls. So I'm going to take her to where I found the best cinnamon rolls in Paris. So just in terms of spreadsheets, you better believe that I actually have spreadsheets for not just bakeries, but all areas of Paris and restaurants and cafes and activities and places to visit. So I've actually, given that I've not been working, have had so many guests in the last 2 years, which has been amazing. I've had such great feedback on the trips that I've planned for them that I've basically started offering this for other people too. And it's going well. I'm very excited to say that I've accumulated a lot of knowledge in these areas and I've really kind of got to explore the city and make it my own. So it feels weird to admit, and I don't know if this is a hot take among this crowd, I hated Paris the first time I came here. A lot of people say they shared this experience. It's overwhelming. It's expensive. It's busy. And it's kind of hard to navigate. The metro is not that intuitive. So, imagine you come and it's raining and the streets are dirty and you go up the Eiffel Tower and it's really cold out there, as it turns out. And then you go to Trocadero and people are trying to sell you terrible little plastic souvenirs. And then you have lunch and the waiter is rude and you don't understand why, because you did your best effort at saying bonjour. And then your escargot chili. The Mona Lisa is barely visible because she's disappointingly small. And there's 300 people in that room. And you don't understand why you can't find oat milk for your coffee anywhere. So, I don't know if that resonates. That was my experience, and I was not happy. Thankfully, the first time I came to Paris wasn't when I moved here, and that time I was a bit more prepared to face the realities. But essentially, what I've started to do is developed a questionnaire that will allow me to make some recommendations around where you're staying, how you should be getting around, some activities and some sites, and brunch base and cafes, restaurants and bars, the full itinerary if that's what you're interested in. Honestly, I will never call myself an expert, but I am so dedicated to learning. I love trying new things. I mean, this is literally the 5th country that I live in. I love trying new things. And I have a problem. That aside, I have tried so many Paris things that you won't have to try and you won't have to be disappointed. And there's data behind it. There is a spreadsheet involved. So, just to say, if you let me help you, this is the type of thing that you could be doing, because everyone will tell you to go to the Moulin Rouge. The Moulin Rouge is very cool, no doubt. But will they tell you that if you go just past the Moulin Rouge and go into a tiny staircase, why don't they advertise it better? Don't ask me. I don't know. It's a tiny staircase right past it. And you go up the stairs and inside and then up some more stairs. You're on the roof of the Moulin Rouge and you're having champagne right under the windmill. And it is wonderful. Why wouldn't you do that? Equally, there are several other burlesque shows that you can book, all at different levels of fancy or affordable. I recently went to a cabaret on a boat right next to the Notre Dame. It was small and it was kind of stuffy, but it was gorgeous and it was hilarious. And it was right next to some great jazz bars to continue the night. And truly, cabaret makes for a great Parisian night out. So I would love to be able to tell everyone these things. And please get in touch so that I can tell you that you can have a great Parisian night out. And equally, here's some of the other things. The amount of people who have come to visit me, who I've even told them before, there was a maximum taxi price, and they forgot to agree it beforehand. You must not tell them that you're going to spend more money. You must be explicit that you know the rules and they're not allowed to charge you. Because honestly, it doesn't matter whether you're coming here for a fancy trip or for a budget trip. Nobody likes to be taken advantage of. So that one is a hard and fast rule that I tell everyone. And then there is loads of things to do in Paris in the winter, in the summer. There are so many things that are just pop-ups or temporary, really hard to keep an eye on. And I'll be honest, I tried asking ChatGPT to see what it would tell me. Got so many things wrong and it was really embarrassing for them. So you can try asking ChatGPT, or you can try asking me. And I will tell you that you can go to Versailles and see a fireworks show every Saturday night of the summer on top of the beautiful fountains of Versailles. And it's one of the best experiences I've ever lived. These are my boulangerie top tips. Do not make some of these mistakes. Learn from my mistakes, please, because this is what is going to turn your trip to Paris from, ugh, I hate Paris. Why is it so busy and horrible? To, oh mon Dieu, j'adore Paris. Always say bonjour when you walk into anywhere. Anywhere. It doesn't matter if you think no one's listening. You must say it. Otherwise, a sassy lady will pop up from behind a counter, look at you and say, bonjour. And you will feel really embarrassed. So don't, always double check. If you're going somewhere on a Monday, double check. Bakeries are closed on Mondays. Many bakeries are. So just check all the moments. If you're getting bread, don't order a baguette. Anywhere else? Yeah, if you live in the US, if you live in the UK, you can get a baguette. Here, you shouldn't get a baguette. The baguette will be okay. But what you really want is a tradie, which is governed by law, French law, and is made with 4 pure ingredients. And it can never be changed, and every bakery makes it. And it doesn't make sense to me, and a lot of people that I know, that the bakeries still make the other baguette because tradie is so much better than the other baguette. We're not going to run through all of these, but some of them are more obvious than others. You know not to go to a chain bakery. You know not to go to Paul when you come to Paris. But if you have to go to a chain bakery, I've put 3 good ones in there just in case you can't find anything else around or open. So yeah, that's it from me. Hopefully you've learned something new today. If you have any questions, I'm here to talk.
Well, that was amazing. I absolutely loved that. And I feel like I've learned so much from it as well. And as you can see, there's Sofia's contact information. So if you are the connoisseur of the 14th that she needs, follow her on Instagram, send her an email here. And yeah, that was amazing. And now we will open the floor to any questions at all about, well, anything really. And I can start off with a few that I've seen. So one of them is there a preferred beverage with the best croissant?
Oh, is there a preferred beverage? Okay, I mean, my preferred beverage is an oat latte.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you come to France, if you go to a cafe, what is called a traditional cafe, which is kind of like an all-day restaurant is what that would translate to, really. If you go to a cafe, you don't want to order a latte, you want to order a café crème. That's what mean latte in French in Paris. A lot of those places won't have oat milk. So if you have any sort of dietary requirements or just preferences, what you want to do is you want to go to a torréfacteur, which will translate more directly to coffee shop rather than cafe. So there's one thing there. What is the beverage of choice? I know you see a lot of videos of people dipping croissant into hot chocolate. You can do that. I didn't ever see any locals do that. It tastes good. Don't get me wrong. Dipping your croissant into coffee or hot chocolate tastes great. But it's not a kind of typical thing that people do. In fact, I think the kind of traditional French coffee is what they call an allongé. An allongé is basically like a very small Americano. In Paris, they'd never call it an Americano. So, so those are the kind of most typical drinks you'd have.
And then Tammy asks, if you could put together a boulangerie cruel or patisserie cruel, what would it look like? And says she's thinking of an area of the city where you could hit several bakeries within a few minutes. So it's quite focused with good boulangeries and patisseries.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. Thank you, Tammy. And it's something that I'm very excited about because I really do want to do this in real life. either in person or just to kind of send like a chain, a little like series of boulangeries to people. I think one of the places where I would do this is, it's not super central in Paris, but it's a very, very cool like old market street in the 17th arrondissement. The 17th arrondissement is like, it's where the young rich people live. It's a cool area. It's not edgy or dangerous. It's like nice, quite proper. I'm very teen. And in the 17th, there's a road called Rue de Levis, Levis, like Levi's, like the jeans. Rue de Levis. And on that road, there is a series of bakeries that are all wonderful. And I mean, like, so they have a couple of the chain ones that I mentioned earlier. So French Pastries and Poilâne. They have both of those on Rue de Levis. They have Léonie Bakery just around the corner, which is amazing. They have a Yann Couvreur. A Yann Couvreur is he's a very famous chef pâtissier. They have on Rue de Levis, they have Storer. Storer is, the most famous one is on Rue Montorgueil. It's meant to be the oldest patisserie in Paris. And they have like 3 or 4 of them across Paris. So they have one store on Rue de Levis. So there's like already 6 bakeries there that are absolutely mind-blowing. And there are no bad ones, which I feel like then enhances the kind of whole vibe. Also, it's a really cute street with like lots of green grocers and just very cute French brands. It's a very nice street. So that's my starter for 10. I think you can also definitely do one in the Marais. But because there are so many bakeries in the Marais, you'd have to be more careful in avoiding the kind of not great ones. So I'd have to have a more detailed think about that. Maybe that's something for my Instagram in the next month or so.
It's giving you content ideas. And then I've got 2 more questions here. One from Madeline, which is, what about Ile Saint-Louis? Do you have any recommendations there?
Ile Saint-Louis, yes. So I'm just going to check that I'm thinking of the right Ile, because
the one just next to the Notre Dame Ile?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. I just want to be sure that that's the one.
Yes.
Correct. Ile Saint-Louis is very small. So there's not a whole lot of stuff going on there. But there is a very small bistro that's called the Saint Regis, or let's say Regis, Regis. And that bistro is really good for like food all day, evening drinks. I've had their coq monsieur and it was amazing. What else do I like near that area? Just across the river, there is, it's very well known, but Shakespeare & Co. bookstore. So it's literally like you just cross the bridge and you get there. It's not far. So Shakespeare & Co. bookstore is very busy and always has a queue outside. But also right next to it has a coffee shop called Shakespeare & Co. also. And the coffee shop is excellent. And you can sit outside, even in the winter, they'll have seating. You look at the Notre Dame, which is beautiful, and they get their croissant from Maison d'Isabelle. Maison d'Isabelle being one of the viral spots that is actually worth it. So
one of the other questions from Robert was, what about La Maison d'Isabelle? And there we go.
La Maison d'Isabelle, indeed. Yeah, very much one of the viral ones that is very worth it. And I think I mentioned before, it will have a queue when you go. Don't be put off by the queue because the queue goes so fast. They are so efficient. They have so much staff. And once I went and they had a separate queue for croissants. Like just a whole separate queue. If you want a croissant only, you just queue here. And it goes so fast. So it's definitely worth going. But what I would say, I think I put that in my previous slide, is sometimes near your favorite bakery, there will be a cafe. That cafe, if they have a kind of breakfast offer, has to get their croissants from somewhere. And very often they'll just get it from their nearest bakery. So like Shakespeare & Co. get their croissants from Maison d'Isabelle, there will very often be a place next to the bakery where if you don't want to just grab and go, if you do want to sit down, you can have a sit down and ask them, where do you get your croissants from?
I think that's definitely something most people don't know. I didn't know that. That's a great top tip. And then our final question will be from Linda, and it's what's your take on du pain et des idées in the canal area?
Yes. So, okay, Japan Dizzy Day is one that really divides people because it's a little bit out of the way. It's like near the canal, so it kind of takes a little bit of effort to get to if you're staying more central. And it's also, it can have very long queues and is a little bit pricier than the general bakeries. I think it's really worth it. The croissant itself is great. They have a lot of other pastries that are really, really great. Last time I was there, I had one with fig. It was incredible. I think that's seasonal. That was September. So. And truthfully, the bakery itself, from the outside, looks like nothing. From the inside, it feels like you're in Versailles.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful and everything is gold. And that's my favorite thing about bakeries in Paris is they just look after them so well. It's not just a building. It's not just a place they work. They really kind of make sure the culture is oozing through every bit of this like temple of food.
Absolutely. Well, that was amazing. I think you answered all those questions perfectly. And I hope that everyone enjoyed that as much as I did. And remember, you can all follow Sofia on Instagram at Où sont les croissants. A huge thank you to Sofia because I thought that was amazing. A thank you to you all. And from all of us at Bonjour Paris, merci et à très bientôt.
Merci, bisous.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like access to our complete video library and exclusive member-only content, join the Bonjour Paris membership via the link below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more expert talks, insider Paris tips, and French culture stories. We look forward to seeing you at the next event.